Wendy Raffini here and JJ Mazzo from Summit Funding, and today we're tackling the big topic and the elephant in the room, student debt. Can you qualify for a loan to purchase your first house with student debt?
Well, great question. Student debt is definitely the elephant in the room right now. And it's really no different than any debt. The biggest thing that we look at next to credit is going to be your debt to income ratio.
Yes.
How much you spend each month, including your new housing payment, versus how much you make. So it's important to know what your debt load is. When it comes to student debt, if you do not have a fully amortized payment on that debt, then getting it is going to be key. Calling the student loan companies and asking them, what is my fully amortized payment? Because that could be different, what's reporting on the credit report, than actually what their payment fully amortized is. If we don't have that or can't get that payment, we're going to use 1% of the balance for most loan programs to qualify. And so that can make things tougher as far as qualifying if you have a high debt to income ratio. But ultimately, debt to income ratio and debt load is as important to us lending the money as it is to you borrowing the money. So we'll make sure that we put the clients in a really good position so that we can ensure that you can pay that money back and buy your new home with confidence. And it's even more important to make sure that you're keeping as much of your tax dollars in your pocket as possible when you do have other debts to help you pay off that debt that much faster.
Absolutely. And another question for you. If I do have a lot of student debt, how can I go about increasing my credit score so that I can minimize the interest rate that I'm going to have to pay?
Oh, that's a great question. So we really want to tackle these student debts from the smallest debts to the highest debts. We find that just from a financial standpoint is it's a win-win. It makes you feel good when you start knocking out those small ones
start
first,
crushing those small ones,
and then you start seeing you go from 5 debts to 3 debts to 2 debts to 1 debt.
It's a psychological thing for a lot of people.
Psychological, absolutely, and making sure that you make those payments on time. That is it. Just make sure you're making those payments on time. And really don't overutilize your other credit cards and other debts that you have. And that'll help maximize that score. For instance, if you have a $3,000 credit card, try and not use more than $1,000 of that limit.
So the general rule of thumb is don't spend more than 30%.
That's it.
General rule of thumb. Wonderful. Well, if you guys have further questions about credit, there's a lot to this issue with regard to student debt and credit. Please feel free to give JJ a call. He's your expert on this topic at Summit Funding, and he'd be more than happy to help dig a little deeper in your personal situation. And I'm Wendy Raffini with the Focus Real Estate team. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.